I want to bring in Spear Investment founder, Chief Investment Officer, Ivana Lalevska. Nice to see you. One of my favorites. So, Jensen Huang, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. I mean, this is the year. They're saying now, the humanoid robots, right? The year of physical robots powered by AI. I want to share with the audience. This is from Citi, folks. And these are the different sort of robots and just how quickly the growth is going to be. And this is how quickly they're going to be ingrained in your life. Like it or not, autonomous vehicles, that's going to grow by leaps and bounds, 17%. Domestic cleaning robots, some of you probably need that. I do, I'm not going to lie. Humanoids, drones, carrying robots like the guy needed on that spaceship, commercial cleaning robots, food, grocery delivery bots, food services bot. What do you make of this? I mean, is this accurate in your mind? Do you think it's going to come on this quickly?
I do, Charles, and actually out of this chart, I think the humanoid robots are the most interesting opportunity, as well as the autonomous vehicles. So if I had to zoom in on two categories, I think those would be the two. And Jensen highlighted during CES basically saying that humanoid robots, autonomous driving, and agentic is another category, which are robots that will work on your computer side by you. All three are going to be very important going forward.
I interviewed Sam Altman, and we talked a little bit about, at some point, regulations, right? I mean, our great fear is that the robots will hurt us, like that album cover. Where do you see regulations? Because you don't want to stop the growth of this, but we also want to make sure that humans are safe.
Well, that's a very interesting question. So for all three categories, there is different regulatory concerns. On one hand, you have agentic robots which work on your computer. Those you don't need any regulation, and they're actually going to be very easy to implement because you can just install them and they'll work side by side with you. The humanoid robot, I think, was an interesting point that Jensen brought up, which is that they also work in our current infrastructure. So it's not like you need an extra lane to have a humanoid robot walk on. So that opportunity can also be very easily scalable.
Okay.
Autonomous vehicles are going to be the hardest because they will drive side by side with cars, right? So that's going to be a key.
But I gave my theory at the beginning of the show why that won't happen. But I don't know if you were in it. You might have been in the green room. I got a theory on why maybe then we won't be allowed to drive with them. Let me just jump in here because I want to share your expertise on the investment side. Her work is some of the best out there. You recently upgraded this sort of schematic. I love it, right? Because it breaks it down. We hear AI, and we just think one category, but you've got applications, and in that enterprise and consumer, you've got the infrastructure, cybersecurity, platforms, all of these different things. It's just really amazing. There's a big universe out there with this.
That's right, Charles. So there is an entire value chain. When you see an application, there is an entire value chain that's behind it that's making it possible. So at the bottom, there is the hardware opportunity, which is the NVIDIAs, the Marvells, the Broadcoms of the world. But then there is a whole data infrastructure layer with companies like Snowflake and Cloudflare.
Almost all of these are publicly traded companies.
That's
so
right.
I want to bring up, just to share with the audience some of the names that you like right now. We're going to pull up in these respective areas some of the things you like. So inside the rack, NVIDIA, Marvell, Arista. Let's just ask, I want to ask you about Arista because that's relatively new, right? That kind of got hot amongst Wall Street, in the last couple of years.
That's right. So Arista is a player on the networking side, and we think networking is going to be one of the key areas that is going to drive improvement of performance of the chips. So how you're connecting the chips will be key in driving performance.
You've got Tesla in your applications now. Wall Street's got a love-hate relationship with it. Why do you like it?
Well, we really like it mainly because of the robotaxi opportunity. So I think the FSD side, which is autonomy as an application, is already priced in.
Right.
I think the EV opportunity is priced in, but the robotaxi, if it happens, that's going to be incremental to the value.
I saw a chart today from Morgan Stanley in the robot taxis. It's crazy. You're going to be taking a robot taxi in less than a year, maybe more sooner. I want to give a couple questions from the audience, right? First, let's go to Steve. Do we have a Steve? Kathy C. Hey, Kathy.
Hi.